Good morning. I almost wanted to say good afternoon and welcome to the Cannon County Chamber Connection. And of course, this is brought to us by DTC Communications, along with a lot of other things they do for the Chamber. And I am Carolyn Motley, and my co-host is Keith Reddy. And we're glad to be with you on this beautiful April day, a little different than it was a week or so ago. But March was a very wet month, so we're hoping that April will be a little drier because many events are trying to happen, and if they're outside events, Mother Nature isn't always our friend. But hopefully it'll all work out for the best. I do have some guests with us today. And the first one I'm going to get to is Matthew Hunter, and he is with the Art Center, and he's going to tell you about their summer conservatory. Matt?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Matthew Hayes Hunter. I'm the Arts Education Director here at the Art Center of Cannon County, and we are planning to move forward with our 2021 Summer Youth Conservatory. We have 3 sessions of that planned, 2 junior sessions for our younger kids in 1st through 6th grade, and then 1 senior session, and that's for students in 7th through 12th grade. And they get, it's a 2-week day camp from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, they get to perform in a showcase for their friends and family. We sell tickets for that for the friends and family to come see them and see all their hard work. There's classes in acting, music, and dance taught by all local professional artists. And they get to play theater games and do all different types of activities like that. Also, the Cannon County school system provides lunches for everybody Monday through Thursday every week. So that's a super cool thing that we're very thankful for that they do. And those dates, our first junior session is June 7th through the 18th. The second junior session is June 21st through July 2nd. And then our senior session for our older kids is July 12th through the 23rd. And they can get applications on our website at artcenterofcc.com/conservatory, or you can come here to the theater and pick those up at the front desk.
And if they sign up early, like before May for the junior ones, they get a $10 discount.
Yes.
And before June for the senior.
Yeah, so our junior conservatory is $175 per student, but if you sign up before May 1st, you get $10 off that. And then senior conservatory is $225, and if you sign up before June 1st, you get $10 off that as well.
They do a great job with this. My office is here in the Art Center, so I get to see these children. And, you know, some of them on those grades 1 through 6th grade, they come in and they are so shy and so bashful, and I think, I can't see this child singing by the time he's gone, he's producing a show, you know, they do a good job. And then the seniors are a little more confident, aren't they, when they come in? They've been there and done
They've been there,
before.
done it a little bit. We've got some really exciting stuff in the works this year. It's going to be some really big stuff happening. So we're
But I've never heard anybody whose kids attended this that they thought it was a waste.
Oh,
never.
No, we've been really lucky to have some incredible students and have some really great instructors every year. So we're excited to have some of them back, some new people as well. So,
how many participants do you normally get for one of these conservatories?
Normally each session is going to be 25 to 30 kids on average. So, you know, we're seeing somewhere 60 to 70, 80 kids sometimes every summer.
And you really put them in groups, don't you?
Yeah, so they're usually grouped by grade, usually 3 to 4 groups by grade, and then from there, it's just kind of skill level, and every class is kind of catered toward their grade level and their skill level, and then they use everything in class to kind of create their showcase at the end of the 2 weeks.
And you know, I know like in kindergarten, first day of school, there's always those children that are crying. You don't see that here.
No,
Well,
everybody
maybe
comes
the
in.
first day, they kind of stand behind their mom, but after that, it's, don't get out, Mom, it's okay.
Right. We throw them right into theater games and getting to know you games, so everybody gets pretty comfortable pretty
Right,
quick.
so you don't have any of that crying.
Yeah.
We did have one little girl one time that her favorite thing to do was go in the bathroom and play in the water.
That was before my time. Hopefully that's not a thing anymore.
There were several of them that we had to go in and get her,
Oh,
you know, because she took a lot of bathroom breaks.
Several of you had to go in and get her? Several. That's
The
more than
teacher-
one, you would think.
The teacher was a man, and he would come
Oh,
get me.
okay, gotcha.
And he would say, go in there and get her. But she was very little and very cute, but her main thing was, playing in the water. Okay, but that's a fun thing. Anything else coming up that?
That's our biggest thing that we've got right now. You know, we're hoping to get back to normal shows and concerts soon, but conservatory is our next big project we've got going on.
Well, that's a good start.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, we want to make it clear, the Art Center is not closed.
Not at all. We are
They-
here, we are open.
They have a great gift shop.
Mm-hmm.
You won't find anything that's made out of the United States there. Most of those are artisans that bring things in here. We have a selection of books from a local
Arthur,
right, thank you.
hey, you're welcome.
Anyway, Becky Murray, and I believe she's going to be on the show next week, and her books sell out just about as quick as they come in, but most of them are about Cannon County and the different, she's written things about the poorhouse, she's written things about moonshine, mayhem, and murder. She's written things about ghost stories in Cannon County, and so those don't really last too long. And very interesting, but there's a lot of artisans that are in there that do pottery, woodworking, tables, chairs, artwork, and then usually we always have an artist display, don't we?
Yep.
Now, we haven't gotten one in this hall yet, but there's one in
Yeah.
the,
There's one in our front gallery right now, and then we should have one coming in here pretty soon, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Yep.
So how long have you been the director here?
I
as
took
far as the-
over August 1st of 2020.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not been long.
Not too long, no. I've volunteered off and on since 2011.
So is this your first conservatory that you participated in, or did y'all have one last year with COVID?
So I was here last year
Okay,
for
yeah.
that one, and then I taught in 2018 at conservatory, so I've been around a couple times.
So you've been in the theater
Oh, yeah.
business for a
And
while.
he just figured, hey, it's a fun time every day.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to go
I'm
to
just
work.
going to do it all the
As
time.
long as he doesn't be like the little girl who goes plays in the water in the bathroom.
Well, I will say this, let me clarify it. It is the sink water, not the,
You should lead with that next time, probably.
Yeah, I was going to ask for a clarification on that, but
yeah, the other, she would have probably been barred from the bathroom. No, she just liked the water. Anyway,
All right.
that's it.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're going to have you back
All
because
right.
we're hoping that things will get ramped up
Exactly.
again.
We'll have more to talk about.
Have you heard anything about the craft show? That's the main questions I get.
We are moving forward as if it is happening.
Okay,
So until
and that's
we-
in September.
In September, yeah. So until we hear anything else, we are going forward like it's happening.
Well, all
So
right.
we don't want to miss another one,
No, I know.
right?
All right, well, thank you, Matt. All right, we have other guests here, and they are new chamber members, and we are so proud to have them. And we have Mr. Blake Finney and Hannah Haynes. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like you should star in a movie.
we're talking about theater just a minute
Blake
ago.
Finney and Hannah Haynes.
We're here. Just don't
I'll
go
start
play in the water. Yeah, don't play in the water.
And they are with Shelter Insurance. And you now have an office in Woodbury, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What kind of insurance do you handle?
Well, first of all, I'll start. My name's Blake Finney. Thank you, Ms. Carolyn, for having us on the show today.
Well,
And
that's quite all right.
we're excited about being members of the chamber. My name's Blake Finney, and I'm with Shelter Insurance. I've had an office in Murfreesboro for 17 years. I'm originally from the big city of Hillsborough in the neighboring county of Coffee County, so very familiar with small town USA. And so it's a scenario where I've had an office there, and I wanted to expand into Woodbury. We have lots of clients that we already service in Woodbury. And so we opened the office right on Main Street, right across from the courthouse, in with a title company, Regal Title and McCarter Catcher East on the law firm there. And this is Hannah Haynes. She's my licensed staff person. She's been with me for going on 3 years now, and she serves the office full time. And I'll let her speak about that in a little bit. But we specialize in home, auto, life insurance. And if it's something we can't do, we've got resources to help people out with that. And the thing about Shelter that's such a good company is we're big enough. It's a 75 plus. We're actually celebrating our 75th year this year as a company. So we're a company large enough to do whatever's needed, but we're small enough that I was texting our vice president the other night about March Madness, right? So it's a big enough company to do whatever, but a small enough company to do that. And we want to be involved in the chamber. We're very involved in the Murfreesboro Chamber. I serve on the Leadership Rutherford Board. We've been chamber members for 17 years in Rutherford County. Very excited about being here, being a part of your community. Like I said, hope to get to know you more through the years.
All right. Be careful what you wish for.
I mean, I can let Hannah chat a little bit as well. So.
We have a lot of activities in Cannon County, and everybody thinks, well, there's not too much could go on there. When COVID isn't part of it,
Right.
there's many, many things, and sometimes they all fall on the same weekend.
Right.
And the reason we targeted Cannon County, like I said, we have clients here, but we're intimate people. We like to get to know people versus just being a name that you don't know the people. So being a smaller community, we can get to know people, and you can get to know us, and be an extension of what we do in Murfreesboro.
Well, that's part of your business, is getting to know people. You want to get to know people
Absolutely.
in the community, and you want them to know you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, I can hook you up with about as many events as you
Gotcha.
you want to get involved in. But we are glad to have you here.
Okay.
And we're glad to have you as a member, too. You'll find this one will probably be a little less hectic as the one in Rutherford County. As I was telling you earlier,
Right.
They have a lot of facilities down there, and usually many of them, I use them if I have someone wanting to come in and learn about small business development and how to get started. That's most likely where I would send them,
Right.
is to Murfreesboro to talk to those. They've come up here before and talked to us about it, so
Great.
that's a good thing.
Very good thing. So they're great people in the Rutherford County Chamber, and I know that it's not like Rutherford County and Cannon County, compete with each other. I think maybe the United Way shares.
Yeah.
They do.
It's done, and I know some of the judicial circuits are all in one.
We
thing.
share,
So,
or they share.
I think from the state rep, the lines are a little bit different, because I think they
Right.
go a little bit differently,
Right.
but everything else is pretty
Yeah.
pretty normal. We've met. Prior to doing insurance, I was a teacher and coach, so we got involved at the school and sponsored some of the basketball games and that sort of stuff. And I'm ready for COVID to be out of here so we can actually attend some of those games. And I love going to smaller gyms and seeing that, because like I said, I grew up in Coffee County, so it's my dad played at Coffee County High School, my grandpa played there, and it's that sort of thing that you get here. Whereas in Murfreesboro, it's all spread out, So
Can I tell you something?
go ahead.
Don't do that. It sends him into dizzies. It comes out on the tape.
What's that?
You know,
you do
the
this.
vibrations
Gotcha.
with the microphone.
Gotcha, okay.
Well, you
I'm
know,
learning.
if you ever want to attend a game, just holler at me at the Cannon Curry. I'll get you in.
Gotcha.
You don't have to worry about COVID.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Not that I've broken any rules for people before,
And
but you know.
then Hannah, like I said, she's a licensed staff person. I'll let her chat a little bit about what we've done there with the school and a little bit about herself.
Yeah, so definitely, just to go on what Blake said, him being from Hillsborough and me being from, big town Chapel Hill, it's definitely great to keep around with the small town, tried and true, and really have that sense of community that you can actually see and feel and be there, and just really there to serve our community. And one way that we've looked into doing that, as well as he mentioned with the sports facility, we've been working on that with them, as well as we've also offered a scholarship that we'll be presenting here on May 10th at the awards night.
Good deal.
Awards night. So
Good deal.
it's great. It's
What
great
were the
to come in.
qualifications of that scholarship?
We had some qualifications on just basically, why would this be a good scholarship for you, things like that. We did have a 250-word essay
Okay.
that the students were able to fill out, tell us kind of their plan, where they wanted to go to college, what they wanted a degree in, a time that they've learned through hardship, or why they deserve the scholarship, and what they would do if they were selected.
And this is an inaugural thing, right? I mean, you have it offered a good deal.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good.
So we'll present that on May 10th, coming up for the senior awards.
Senior
night.
awards. I will
So
be there.
it's
great.
Yep.
It's great to really, come from a small town and now grow up a couple of years later and be able to give back to another small town.
Hey, listen, I've lived in both, big and small. I grew up in a real small town, a lot smaller than Woodbury, and I swore when I got older that I'd never live in a small town again. But then I lived in Seattle, Denver, Aurora.
Wow.
So I thought, you know what, the small town looks better all the time.
Right.
And so now I wouldn't live anywhere else.
We work with, and I want to also thank her, Casey McGee at the school, the guidance counselor. We work with her on the deal, and it's a $2,000 scholarship that will go to whatever school of their choice, of the winner's choice. And so we're excited about doing that. And it's not something we're going to do a one-time deal. It's going to be a deal that we're going to continue to do that throughout the years or whatnot. And so it's kind of funny. I went up there to the school to work with her on it, and then one of my high school sophomore, my sophomore biology teacher, Miss June, it was Jones, I don't know what her name is now, I think it's Carr possibly. She was there in the office, so it was fun to kind of circle back around and catch up with her.
Reminisce.
Reminisce the old things, but no, small town is a great thing. And like I said, the intimacy, I think, you get to meet people, know more people. I think in the big city, sometimes it's just buzzy and nobody knows anybody. You just know other
You're
people,
right,
you know,
and
so.
I like to walk in places where they know my name.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
There's definitely a greater sense of neighbors here. I feel like
There
everybody
is.
tries to take care of each other and really try to do what's right for their neighbor.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a good thing, and I don't mind the small. I always hear about how our schools possibly don't have the same that you would get somewhere else. Your schools are what you make of them. It's not always the school. It's how the child feels about it, the parents feel about it. And so, yeah, I think our schools, I had 3 children, 6 grandchildren, all graduated from Cannon County.
Right.
And they've done well,
Good.
That's awesome.
so.
Yeah, just the small amount of people that we've got to work with closely at the school. I mean, from teachers, coaches, to guidance counselors. I mean, everybody's just been so willing to do anything they could to help their
They
students.
are.
and
It's
better them.
amazing because I deal with coaches all the time, and I've dealt in other schools in Rutherford County, in fact, and these coaches are responsive. They want you to
Absolutely.
promote their kids.
Right.
And that's not always been a thing here at Cannon County, but the new atmosphere when Courtney Nichols was hired as principal, and the attitude that was, it's on the up and up, and it just shows. It's a lot of enthusiasm,
Right.
and it shows when you step into the building. It sure
We're
does.
excited to be here and be a part of the community. And like I said, if we can help anybody with their insurance needs or just take a review or look at it or whatnot, we'll be happy to help them out. And if what you got's better than what we can offer, we're the top people that says, hey, change this, this, and this. And stay exactly where you're at. That's fine. So the way we look at insurance is there's plenty of pie out there. The competition is people who do things the wrong way that doesn't take care of their policyholders. So
exactly.
the competition is not the guy across the street or whatnot. The competition is the person who doesn't treat the customers right. And so that's the way we look at it.
And you
This is
do,
how I
That doesn't
feel
talk to their
about
customers.
Right.
my insurance agency. If something happens, like happened earlier this spring, and a tree falls on your house on a Sunday, I want to know, I want to be able to call a person locally.
100%.
Absolutely.
So the way our office runs is everything runs through our Murfreesboro office. The phone number that rings down here rings to Murfreesboro office. When we leave the office at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, my office phone number rolls to my cell phone. So you have a problem, you're going to get a hold of me on Saturday or Sunday afternoon. So that's the way that works around our office. So
What types of insurance? Do you have everything, homeowners, automobile?
We have everything. There's some things that we specialize a little bit more than others. So like I said, we generally specialize in home, auto, and life insurance. We do some business insurance, but it's one of those deals, if it's not in our wheelhouse that we normally deal with, we'll find somebody to help you out. The way I describe it is you've got a heart doctor and a knee doctor. They're both surgeons, but they do two totally different things. So if it's not what we do, we're not going to try to mess it up, and we're going to try to get you to somebody that's best for you. So
Well, you don't do health, do you?
do not do health insurance. No, ma'am.
Okay.
So.
I think that's one thing that we also try to, pride ourselves on is we take that extra 5 minutes with our clients or potential clients and run through everything with them, because insurance is not just something, in a box on a shelf that you buy at Walmart.
No.
It has to be personalized. You have to know all of your information to really make sure that you have the specific and correct coverage for your client, each of them, no matter how many.
Like I say, I want my insurance agent to be on my side.
And you should want that. So.
Absolutely. A lot of the times, we're getting the calls on your worst day.
Oh, yeah.
Something's happened to your house, you've been in a horrible car accident. So definitely important on who you're calling.
That is, it is. That's always been my feeling about that. What were you going to ask, Keith? You just had a car wreck, weren't you?
wasn't me, well, I wasn't in the car. I was doing the lift-a-thon down here Saturday, emceeing it, and some guy had a four-wheel drive pickup truck that was taller than my car, and he whipped out to leave, and as he whipped out, his
Oh, goodness.
back wheel caught my fender, and all of a sudden some kid comes around. Well, I heard a crunch, and a kid comes in. Hey, there's a truck that just ran over a car out here. Starts laughing about it and everything. I go out there, and
Of course it would be.
that was my second time that I've been hit in the parking lot. And I told people, I said, I'm going to stop parking in your parking lot.
But again, we appreciate you having us on, and we are looking forward to being an active member of your chamber.
Well, I look forward to all the active members I can get.
Gotcha.
And I'm sure the chamber does too. And Keith is on the board for the chamber, so
Why don't we
that
give you guys
helps
a
too.
plug? If somebody wants to contact you at Shelter Insurance, how do they get a hold of you?
They can give us a call at 615-867-0120, or if you're not available, you can send us an email at bfinney@shelterinsurance.com.
Are you in the office every day here?
Yes, ma'am. Monday through
Okay.
Friday, 8 to 5. I'm always in Woodbury up here on the square at 219 West Main, or Blake's always in the office as long as we're other coworkers at 1850 Memorial Boulevard in
All
Murfreesboro.
right.
And we've got Hannah down here, and I've got 3 staff members in Murfreesboro, and myself makes 4 in Murfreesboro. So when the phone rings here in Woodbury, somebody in Murfreesboro may answer it, but we're going to be able to connect
Okay.
with you no matter what. So there's not going to be a on hold and press, 2 to talk.
Go through.
Talk to somebody,
Go through
call
6
center
different
in
things.
a foreign country, right? Yeah.
Don't do the call centers.
Good deal.
So,
Good deal.
We try to keep it personal for sure.
Good deal.
That's like I had to call the state last week. When I got on there, of course, Trey Hargett had a message on there along with a lady, and then this message came on, and it told me that I was 16th in line. So I thought, I'm going to be here a while.
Yes.
Exactly.
There are lots of times where our clients may have gotten hit by somebody else.
Right.
So I'll call the other insurance carrier and get their claim filed and
Oh,
taken care
yeah,
of.
yeah.
And I'm on the phone for a minimum of 45 minutes just
Yeah.
waiting and getting them taken care of.
Thank goodness
So-
there's a computer in front of you, and you can type and put them on speakerphone while you wait, right?
Right.
I feel your pain.
And we're open, like I said, one of the reasons we looked at Woodbury as well is, you've got Smith County, you've got White County, you've got Warren County, Coffee County, you've got these other surrounding counties that we've got clients in all those areas too that we can service as well. We have a lot of lake houses and everything. So we just felt it was a natural fit for us. And again, we really like the community, so.
Okay. Well, like I say, you'll find out there's plenty to go on here between the sports, and the Lions Club has a lot of events here. And so, yeah, this is a good place to start.
Good deal. Well, thank you for having us on.
Okay.
All right, well, you're
Thank you.
welcome to stay for the rest of the show, or if you need to go, you can feel free to.
We'll sit here and listen to you.
Well, that works for me. It sure does.
Hey, at least we're entertaining to somebody here.
Unless you're running us off.
No, not at all, not at all. But a lot of times people will think, well, do I have to sit through the rest of it? Okay, the Art Center, I was going to say, now, I want you to remember they are open, even though they're not having plays and concerts at this time. They're hoping that in the near future that will open up again. But they are open, the gift shop is open 10 to 2, Tuesday through Saturday for them. And the chamber office is inside the Art Center, so I'm there from Tuesday through Friday, and I'm there from 8 until 12. And my phone number is 615-563-2222. In case you didn't get something that you've heard on the show, you can call me, and I'll tell you how to get in touch with them. All right, Keith, what have you got? I saw you write down something.
Yeah, we had, we talked about it earlier, got in a wreck at the Liftathon, but
That was a
veterans put
unique,
together.
that was a unique event, and you had a bigger turnout.
Yeah, bigger turnout than what we expected. There was quite a few veterans that came out and performed lifts. I think the highest, and I'll have to get all the numbers, about 315 pounds somebody bench pressed. It was incredible to watch all these.
Wow.
And these young kids, I mean, they were not even freshmen. They were lifting more than I weigh. I was like, wow, unbelievable. But
I would say this is for the young.
But Franz Walkup, everybody knows Franz around here, and Bill Sharp were the headed it up, and they did a great job of doing that. They're going to offer 2 a year is what their plans are.
Oh, good.
And so the second one will be bigger and better, more than likely.
And this goes to help fund
veterans.
veterans,
The
right?
idea of it was when Franz Walkup had a friend of his that had some issues going on to where he wanted to get a service horse. And he put it out there on Facebook and social media that he was trying to raise funds. And so Franz and Bill Sharp, Bill actually called Franz and said, hey, why don't we do this? And he gave him the idea, and Franz said, schools haven't done a liftathon in a while. So they did. And
I never remember them doing the liftathon, but
they do. The football team does one. They used to do one every year until COVID hit, obviously. Okay. And it was a fundraiser for them, and they're going to be doing one, I believe, the 24th. The 27th, April 27th. The high school football team will be doing a liftathon to raise some money.
okay.
So.
Well, there you go. I just never would have thought of, another thing about our veterans, we had them on last month, and this is the year of the Vietnam vets for the next 3 years, and they had planned a parade, but of course,
Rains
everybody
came
was
through and-
building an ark at that time.
But I tell you,
And,
that veterans, the ceremony was really good. I
Right.
had 27 participate.
Good.
And that was a lot more than what I thought was going to happen, and it was a big crowd. And that's the big thing, because a lot of times during the Veterans Day program, you get a lot of students, but not
Right.
a lot of people come out. Now, obviously,
Actual
this
force.
is on a Saturday, to where everybody could come out, and they did.
Right.
Woodbury Grammar School filled
Well, I think
filled the
that's
seats.
great. I think we need to recognize our veterans regardless of what war they were in, but it's just that these next 3 years they're featuring the Vietnam War.
Right.
So, good for them. I'm glad for them. I was just sorry they couldn't have the parade, but they asked me to call the car people, the horse people, and the mule people, which I did, but I can guarantee you none of the car people were going to come out in that, and I doubted that the horse people or the mule people would, so it was just a really rainy day. It was. All right, the next thing we're having, and this is something that we work with the Tennessee Small Business Development Center out of MTSU, and they are trying to put on a seminar. They were approved for a grant last year, but due to COVID, they couldn't fulfill their grant. So now they're looking to do this, and they are sponsoring an HR seminar at the Art Center from 9:30 until 12:30 on the 21st and the 27th. It will be here in this room at the Art Center. If you are interested, and this is for all small business or industry, if you don't have an HR department and you want to know more about those issues, this is for you. But if you can spare the time and everything, if you will call me, I will be glad to give you their online address where you can register, and they'd be glad to have you. There's no cost to this, so let me know if you're interested in coming to this. I think they've put a lot of effort into this, and I'm sure it would be beneficial to some of the people that don't have HR knowledge or whatever. This may be the thing for you. So call me at 615-563-2222. And then April 24th is, and that's on a Saturday, and that will be the first Chamber of Commerce cruise-in. And the first two cruise-ins, the April and May cruise-ins, will be here at the Art Center. And we're going to give that a try and see how that works out. And they don't have anything scheduled that we will conflict with. And of course, there's lots of parking here. This may be something good for you.
Hey,
So-
can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can I be your DJ for this?
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't
He's
sound
been
so
our DJ for some years now. Keith will be there, and of course, our cruise-ins, there's no charge for them, and we welcome all cars, trucks, unique vehicles. Listen, I'm already getting calls about it, and people are just wanting to get out in these cars. So if you want somewhere to go, it's 4 to 7 p.m. You just come down here. We will have door prizes, and they will be sponsored by O'Reilly's. And DTC is good enough to help sponsor our cruise-ins for the entire year.
Are they going to be out here giving away T-shirts?
I'm not sure.
Not yet? Okay.
I'm not sure. Last year, they weren't, well, we really didn't have that many last year, but they weren't able to come and set up. So we'll see if they can do that again this
I
year.
need some new T-shirts.
But they will also give away a TV, and you can register for that, and that will be given away at the car show in September. And last year our car show was great. I do have some new flip cards with the cruise-ins all on one side and the dates, and the car show on the other side. So if you need some of those, give me a call. I'll make sure you get some. And let's see, what other things? May 14th and 15th, Good Old Days is going to be back on the square. And of course, last year, they weren't able to have that event, and that is a fundraiser for our Senior Citizen Center. And so everybody's looking forward to that. I have a lot of calls about that too. They call it a lot of different things, but it's the good old days, is what it is.
Now, they may be in addition to the square or may be replacing the square with location being at Dillon Park. Deborah Leach, I'm sorry, was out at the mayor meeting yesterday trying to get permission to use Dillon Park. And she did get permission to use Dillon Park as well as, permission to do the parade on the 15th too.
I think what she does at Dillon Park are these school events.
Oh, maybe.
She uses all three, both of them.
So.
And she has the school events down there. And then she has the pageants and everything. And Dillon Park is a great place, has a stage. Parking is a little iffy, but, and if it rains,
Well,
maybe not so.
If it rains, look at the pictures in this week's issue of the Cannon Courier. That's what you'll see.
It's kind of low down there. But other than that, I love Dillon Park and I love the stage. But I think most of the events, except for the school events, will probably be around the square.
Gotcha.
And if you'd like to be a vendor or you'd like to be a part of the good old days, please give Deborah a call at the Senior Center at 615-563-5304, and she'll set you up. And let's see, the other thing is the second cruise-in will be May 22nd, and of course it will be 4 to 7 here at the Art Center.
Can I DJ that one too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you.
All right.
And then May 7th is the tentative date for the Moonlight Drive-In to open up. And I know their marquee is down at this time, and I've had a lot of calls about that too. But I think they're either going to put up a new one or repair the one they had.
They're
I'm
putting
not
up
sure.
a new one, and I cannot remember the date. They talked about it yesterday.
May 7th is their
Well, their
tentative date to
opening
open.
date, but they're going to put the new billboards up a couple of weeks before that. It's going to be
Yeah, I know
sometime
they're
this
working
month.
on those.
It's going to be sometime this month. I can't. They told me the date, and I didn't.
And you
even
get a
know
hold
the
of
time.
fireworks, we'll go down there and set off some
Yeah, we can do that.
fireworks. That'll be good. I love the drive-in. And of course, they've always been good to the chamber as far as for giving drive-in tickets that I can give away at our cruise-ins and everything. And a lot of people go to them. I think we have a lot of kids at our cruise-ins anymore because of the drive-in tickets.
Of course, this video probably won't be out by the time that this happens, but this coming Thursday, tomorrow, in fact.
No, it won't be out.
No, okay. Well, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, there's a groundbreaking for the new fire hall, which is going to be located next to the city police station.
Well, I didn't know about that. They did.
They're going to give me a
contact
shovel,
about that.
and I'm going to try to dig a little hole. I'm just kidding. I'm taking a picture. That's all I'm doing. I'm not digging anything.
We do have a new business that I haven't visited yet, but I plan on it. And Blake and I had talked about this earlier. They have one of these in Murfreesboro, but we are going to have an axe throwing facility. I think it's also going to be a game room. So this is something that I hope they'll come on board and he can come in and talk to you about axe throwing. When I first heard this, I thought, what? They're going to throw axes? I'm thinking axes, and I thought, well, there's got to be some pretty heavy-duty guys that are going to do that, but it's actually hatchets.
Yeah.
Hatchets, that's correct.
Yeah.
And you said it's similar to darts.
I would say, I would compare it to dart
Yeah,
throwing.
yeah.
And the way they have those things, say, marked off or whatnot, it's generally a pretty safe. I mean, anything can be dangerous if you're not paying attention, but the way they have them set up, generally they're pretty safe. I've done it a couple times, so.
And it's very fun.
Yeah, you just don't want husband and wife teams that
Or
don't
mad
get
at
along.
each other, yeah. Probably wouldn't recommend that.
More like in-law team.
Well, when these first came out, the people that own these businesses were saying it is a great stress reliever. That's what they were saying. So, yeah, you might, husband on one end of the building and the wife on the other end of the
Right.
building, now throw. Make sure you can throw ahead of you, not across from you.
I'm anxious to see.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good for the community, and
I think it will.
It'll be an activity
Well,
for
it's
people
something different.
to be here local, and instead of somebody driving somewhere else, they'll have they can go grab a bite to eat at one of the local restaurants here in Woodbury and go to that versus
I agree.
having to hop on the interstate and go to Nashville, right? So hopefully it'll
Well,
be
from what I
for everybody.
understand, they're going to be serving food. It's just going to be a kind of a takeout type thing where they have to order it from a local restaurant.
Okay, that's
Sophia's
great.
here.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
they'll be able to deliver out there, so.
Well, nothing wrong with that either. I'm all for that. One hand helping another, all right here. And, that's another thing I wanted to point out. I had a conversation with someone from Murfreesboro today, and they've been talking about how difficult it's been during COVID and the business loss. The strange thing is I get the reports of the sales tax figures for Cannon County, and during COVID, they have gone up. And the reason for that is people have been shopping at home and staying at home. They haven't been able to go out of town. And I think that's the same with a lot of the small counties around us.
I would also argue from our side, we see a lot of things, but where you had a person who lived in Murfreesboro driving to Woodbury, or a person living in Woodbury, they were driving to Murfreesboro or even Nashville to work. Now they're working remotely from home. So
They
instead
are.
of them eating lunch in Nashville, they're eating lunch here.
They are.
Or instead of them doing whatever, they're buying their stuff here.
Yeah,
so
they
I think
are.
the remote thing could actually be a beneficial thing for smaller counties or whatnot. I would
Most
so.
of my family works from home. They
Right.
work either in Murfreesboro or Nashville, and they've been able
I think that
to work
trend,
from
what we've seen,
home.
I think there will be people going back to work. And I think it's good for people to be back at work, to have interaction.
That's the
adults.
thing they said they miss the most.
There is that benefit, but I think instead of, let's say, somebody living here in Woodbury driving to Nashville, I think they drive to Nashville 2 days a week versus 5 days a week. Right?
Yeah.
I think that'll eventually happen because, there may be a slack off in production.
I think
down
the
road.
traffic is going to warrant that.
Yeah.
We have to go down there to Vanderbilt. I'll be truthful with you. I only go to Nashville on a have-to case,
Right.
mainly because of the traffic.
Right.
And hopefully, I know for a long time they talked about a tram between Rutherford County and here in the parking lot, but maybe some of this stuff is maybe relieved a little bit of stress. Now, again, I know we're having so many people moving to these counties a lot, which,
Well, we have a lot of people that's moved into Cannon County,
right,
too.
right. So there's people, I've talked to a guy from Fargo, North Dakota yesterday and one from Colorado moving here, and it's like the laws of the state and things, the business, how it's kind of kept going through a lot of this stuff. So it's been interesting times for
None of
Tennessee.
them's mentioned the laws to me. What they always mention to me, every time there's a storm, especially in Florida, you will get people moving in here, and they always tell me they're moving further inland. And I thought, well, this is about as far as you
Right.
inland,
I tell people too, when I talk to them from out of state, the great thing about Middle Tennessee is within a 7-hour drive, you can get to the Panhandle, or you can get to Hilton Head, or you can get to, almost up in the DC area, and then St. Louis, or,
Yeah.
Southwest flies everywhere for, $150.
Well,
So it's a good place to live.
My
Good quality of life.
granddaughter and grandson are going to visit Colorado, Breckenridge, and they got tickets on Southwest for $49.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's one way, but I mean, $100
Yeah,
Oh,
good shit.
absolutely.
round trip, you can't.
Right.
I don't know what they're going to do out there right now because the weather's getting nicer and Breckenridge probably won't have a lot of snow.
And the thing that we talk to people of their experience moving to Middle Tennessee, they're like, everybody's just so nice in Middle Tennessee. And so,
They are.
well, you haven't met everybody yet, but for the most
They are.
part, you're
As a rule, they are.
Yeah.
Every now and then, you'll meet one that may have been raised up north and moved down.
You're going to get in trouble, girl.
Great. She starts a war with everybody.
No,
Our
I
tenure
don't.
with each other hosting,
They
yeah.
hadn't met him
Yeah.
yet, right? So.
And with Tennessee weather, I mean, if you don't like it, just wait 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and it'll change.
you've got all the seasons here. You really do.
Oh, yes.
You know, and the people are here are
Sometimes you
friendly.
get all 4 in one day.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Many
Yeah.
times I remember seeing sunny skies and wearing shorts to a baseball game, and by the time the 5th inning hit, you're ready to go and put your long pants on and coat
absolutely.
and everything, but you can't because you're got the headphones on, you're broadcasting. But,
And you know the other thing that is a great tourist attraction here, and even if it isn't tourist for the local people, is the Short Mountain Distillery. And they have a great restaurant, and they have something going on up there just about every weekend. They have craft shows, they have music. I know Billy has big plans for the future, and I think they're great plans. I won't go into them right now because I don't know how concrete they are. But if you're looking for somewhere to go or someplace to go eat, the Short Mountain Distillery is a great place to go. Plus, I've got to say it's the prettiest farm in Cannon County. I think it's beautiful up there, the scenery, and he goes out of his way to make sure that it stays that way, that what you see is the beauty of it, because they raise their own animals up there, along with making moonshine and also whiskey. I believe that they're doing bourbon now too. But the restaurant and the grounds and everything, it's a great place to go visit. It really is. And that's about all I have. Can you think of anything else, Keith,
I
that's
think we
coming up?
covered it. As long as you allow me to DJ the cruise-ins, I think we're good.
Well,
That's
as long
okay.
as you behave yourself and act right, I'll let you.
He's in trouble now.
That's a stretch, you know. Acting right is, yeah.
I gave up on that a long time ago. Is there anything else you'd like to add to all this? And we're glad to have you all here.
Thank you guys for having
Even if you
Thank
did
you.
come from small communities, that's a good thing.
Yes.
She
It's
didn't
not
say you
so-
came from the north to
That's right.
stir up that pot, right? We're
Listen,
good.
I've been
Hey, y'all are to
called,
the north of both of us.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Hillsborough, Chapel Hill. I mean, y'all are way north compared to us.
I was called a foreigner for years when I moved down here. Now, my husband was born and raised here, but for years they referred to me as a foreigner. And whenever I opened my mouth, they knew immediately, you know, they thought, no, this girl's not from here.
That's what
But
happened
now
to me
we
when I go
have a
places.
lot of them that come in here. And when I say people from the north, you just kind of have to get used to, because they are very blunt and they are very open about what they say. It's not that they're not friendly, it's just their way. So we just got to get used to that down here and kill them with kindness. That's all I can tell you.
And don't, and if you repeat your phone number, give them the wrong number to call. I mean, come on.
No, people know me, they know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have to talk to you about this year, or this month. And we want you to be safe and have a great month. And come to all the events that you can. And the yard sale, I will mention this because I've had a ton of calls about this. The town-wide yard sale and around the square is going to be June 6th. And it will, if you're interested in setting up around the courthouse, I believe there is a fee for that, and it goes to the Community for Animals. And you can talk with Lynn at the picket fence, and she will set you up with a space for that. And visit all our antique stores. They're great. And we've got them all over. Gazaway's got one, along with the Melton Bank, and also we now have another one on Bradeville Road. And they're open for business. They have a great antique store down there, plus all of the ones around the square. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again next month.